Region 4 chairman released on bail. Cops bust elderly drug ring in Prashad Nagar. 3D design of new Demerara Harbour Bridge released. And will the government address the growing housing crisis? I am Noriko Pulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Today, Chairman of Region 4, Daniel Searam, faced the magistrate's court for allegedly threatening his father-in-law with a gun during a heated argument in front of Movie Town. The court alleged that Searam made use of threatening behavior toward Shahid Hamid on March 6th of this year. There was no mention of a gun in relation to the charge. Searam pleaded not guilty to the charge. The magistrate released him on $20,000 bail and adjourned the matter until April 21st of this year. New steps are expected to be in place at the Vredenhoop stelling by the end of today, replacing the rotting ones that collapsed recently. Though a significant level of deterioration is evident at both the Vredenhoop and Starbrook stellings, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Tindar, told the newsroom on Thursday that the authorities are focused on repairing the steps at this time and not the others. More than 2 months after Joseph Harman officially resigned as the opposition leader, Granger has yet to replace him, nor Nicolette Henry, who also resigned as an MP. Henry's resignation takes effect today, March 31st, which means that there are now 2 vacant seats on the opposition side of the National Assembly. The Speaker of the National Assembly has also written to Granger informing him of the need to fill the vacancies. Reports indicate that he is out of the jurisdiction at the time, and so it is not clear when the vacancies will be filled. There's been a shake-up following Higgins' assignment as acting top cop. Senior Superintendent Errol Watts has been removed as the commander of Region 3 and will now head the special branch, effectively replacing Senior Superintendent Ravindrat Budram. Budram will now be performing the functions of Deputy Commissioner Operations, while Senior Superintendent Mahendra Sunarayan is the new commander of Region 3. Superintendent Denise Griffith has been removed as the commander of Region 2 and will now command Region 4B, while Superintendent Shiv Prasad Bacchus has been reassigned as the Force Training Officer to Commander of Region 2. Superintendent Keithion King, who was second in command of Region 4B, is the new temporary Force Training Officer. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale, this is 2014 RDQ3. It comes with Bluetooth, mag rims, new tires, TV, CD, fog lamps, electronic parking brake, park camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $5.6 million, or pay down as low as $1,120,000 down, with around $108,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them we sent you for this sweet deal. 15-year-old Vidya Ishmael is hospitalized in a serious condition after the car she was in made a U-turn at New Road, Vredenhoop, West Coast Demerara, and crashed into 3 other vehicles Wednesday night. The driver of the car, 35-year-old Kamaraj, was way over the legal limit of alcohol when he turned and collided into another vehicle, which subsequently slammed into a third vehicle. Police said Narayan and the other occupants were also injured and taken to the hospital. They were all discharged except for Ishmael. Yesterday, Kanu busted 31-year-old Akeem Brummel, 46-year-old Gary Towney, and 28-year-old Olaton Sobers in a minibus with over 11 kilograms of cocaine, with a street value of approximately $12.5 million. The cocaine, not the men. When the cops searched the Route 32 minibus, they also located a .40 caliber pistol. The trio is currently in police custody. On Tuesday, Kanu arrested 5 persons, most of them elderly, following the discovery of 25 pounds of cocaine and a quantity of multicolored pills suspected to be ecstasy at a house in Prashad Nagar in Georgetown. They are 62-year-old Lena Narayan, also known as Auntie Lena, 60-year-old James Herbert, known as Uncle James, 71-year-old Kay Jennifer Butcher, 27-year-old Jamal Narayan, and 47-year-old Gregory Ferrier. I mean, oh boy, this really is an elderly drug ring, and you don't really see that every day. According to Kanu, the cocaine has an estimated street value of approximately $12.5 million Guyana dollars, while the suspected ecstasy weighed 266 grams and has a street value of approximately 400,000 Guyana dollars. Who said luxury can't be affordable? Move into your own home in 2022. Lenore Estates West Coast MRR properties are within your reach. Move out of the landlord's place and put that rent money towards your own 5,000 square foot property. Call or WhatsApp 592-618-5702 for more info. With the construction of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge slated to commence in the fourth quarter of this year, a 3D model was recently released. The project is expected to be finished within 2 years. The bridge will connect Nandi Park on the east bank with Lagrange on the west side. Last year, Cabinet granted its no objection for China State Construction Engineering Corporation Limited to construct the bridge at a proposed cost of US $256.6 million. The contract was awarded based on a design-build finance model, which means that they will own it and well, we'll just, I guess, have to pay the tolls, and then we'll eventually get it after 20 years. So, good luck with that brand new bridge, and hopefully it's not going to have a ridiculously high toll. Now it's time for today's oil update. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat is silent on the government's progress of the audit into Exxon's US $9 billion Payara exploration cost bill. Notably, if the 2-year deadline as prescribed in the Starbuck Block Agreement passes and Guyana fails to audit the cost recovery bill, the nation has no other choice but to allow the oil company to recover US $9 billion for its Payara development project in the Starbuck Block without making any objection. Now that's $9 billion US dollars, not Guyana dollars. In fact, Guyana has already failed to audit the Liza 1 and Liza 2 post-2017 audits, which resulted in the oil company being allowed to recover the sum totaling US $9.5 billion. So you can blame the last government for that one. Since last year, this government has promised to finish the audit expeditiously. But again, we have yet to receive an update. So you can blame this government for this matter. You can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way to earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? While I appreciate the relatively fast rate of development in some sections of town, we really have no idea who's doing what. We see the buildings going up, but who is profiting from such development? In many cases, it's foreigners who are using local Guyanese as a front. Is the government clamping down on this, or are they too busy to care? In a matter of 5 years, real estate speculators have pushed large segments of this nation's population out of the housing market because of these insane prices they are demanding. And the rent is terrible as well. The government is providing housing. Yes, they are trying to give housing help to everyone. But even if they were able to make their campaign promise of 50,000 new house lots available tomorrow and not at the end of this term, it is still too little too late, because that's what we should have had 10 years ago. No, seriously, check the statistics. That's what we should have had 10 years ago. We are currently getting ravaged by inflation. And if we're not careful, we're going to soon be hit with a housing crisis. Rather, I should say a worse one than the one we are currently in. The government needs to throw away this whole 18th century old world model of thinking of community building and team up with the private sector, civil society groups, and international NGOs to come up with some new and innovative ways to bring housing to all. Because if you ask me, waiting until it's too late to fix the problem is pretty stupid. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, do you think it's a good idea for the state to clamp down on police officers with side hustles, or should they be allowed to have one? Everett Lawrence says, the police always have a side hustle. Indeed, whether it's legal or not, they always have one. Tiffany Williams says, if they are paid well, yes. But we all know that they are not, so they shouldn't stop them from their side hustle. Adrian Drummond says, as a hard-working person, never take bribe, and work to minimum wages, physical and mental assault. These police who are on the force for a year have huge houses. I guess they have to make their box money. It seems that's just the way it is. And finally, I Am Bantu says, if they would pay law enforcement a proper salary, they wouldn't have to do side hustles. At the same time, it's none of the minister's business if they take a second job. Is there a law that prohibits police officers from taking a second job? Unfortunately, yes, there is a law against them taking a second job. But if you ask me, I think they should scrap that law. In fact, they should require each and every one to get one. But you know what? I'll save my thoughts for another stupid news. Now, for tonight's question I want to know. Has the increase in housing prices and rent prices influenced your decision to buy a new home or to move to a new place? I want you to think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bullford saying good night, folks.